Hey, what's up guys? Brad with the Squared Away Everyday channel, and today we're going to be talking about one of my favorite upgrades to my Tacoma, which is the A.R.E topper, and we're going to get into a little bit of the details, the construction of it, what makes it the HD topper, and why it might be a good choice for you. But in my opinion, it's probably the very best Overland topper that you could actually buy if you're planning on using your bed at all. So let's kind of get into it. Okay, so for starters, you'll probably notice that the doors on this, maybe you can't tell from the camera, I don't really know, but the doors on this are actually aluminum. You can go with whatever you want. You can do aluminum, you can do glass. By the way, there's some deer right up there. I don't know if you can see them or not. Just chilling out. Anyway, pretty cool. But yeah, they call them wind doors. You can get whatever you want. You can get them in glass, you can get them in the aluminum. I personally like the aluminum. It does make it so that you can't, see out of them, or you can't vent them if you have a dog or something like that back there. But for me, it's definitely the best option. I like to just have my gear secure, and I don't really need to see out the windows or anything like that. I'm not really sleeping back there, and I don't really have plans to keep my dog back there for an extended period of time where she would need ventilation. So for me, it's a good option. You also notice that we've got these locking T-handles here, and they kind of open up like this. And they close like that, and you can actually lock it with a key. So another great option for me, because we do like to go camp places, and then we'll intermittently stay in a hotel or vice versa, so especially on our longer trips, so that's kind of fun. But I really like to be able to lock this gear up, especially if we're traveling across country or something like that, and the valet has to take it. You can lock up any sort of valuables you have back here, and nobody can really get into it. So I really like that quite a bit. Okay, so when we're talking about the actual locking T-handles, I just wanted to show you just generally what you're looking at in terms of the actual internal mechanism of how this thing works. And so you've got your T-handle, it rotates like this, and when we open it, we can see that there's these steel rods with little wheels on the end of them, and the wheels will make very light contact with these steel plates right here, and that's what locks in. So when you turn this, it pushes them out, it locks in behind this steel plate here, and that's essentially what's happening with the actual locking mechanism there. It's pretty heavy duty for the most part. It's not like the most heavy duty thing in the world. You could probably still break into it if you really wanted to, but it's better than nothing, and I don't know, I'm pretty happy with it. Now, A.R.E likes to say that this is the strongest, most durable fiberglass topper that you can buy on the market, and I would probably have to agree. So this is the HD model, which means that these bars that actually are holding the tent right here they're not actually just connected to the fiberglass up there, they're actually connected to an internal skeleton inside of the topper, which we'll look at in a second here. But what that essentially does is it increases your dynamic load rating on top. That means while you're driving, how much weight can that take? So it increases your dynamic load rating by 3 times. So say you have a 200-pound dynamic load rating, or 180 pounds, something like that. Let's just call it 200. Now you can do 600 pounds. And I think in this particular one, it's over 6, but don't quote me on that one. I know it's at least 3 times. So 500 to 750 pounds, somewhere in that ballpark. And that is a lot of weight. So whether you're using this for work, and you're going to just put a bunch of gear up top, or you're going to use it like I do with a topper or a rooftop tent on the back, either one of those, it's going to be awesome, and it's really going to hold up to the abuse that you put it through. Okay, so you may have noticed that this particular topper has a two-tone look to it, which is very cool. They don't really do that very often. They kind of warned against it, but the problem for me is on these R.ECXHD toppers, a lot of times they'll color match to the same color as your vehicle. And when you do that, that's fine, you can totally do that, but it looks really like a work truck, and I just didn't want this to look like a work truck because it's not. So for me, I had them go ahead and paint this matte black. So all the windows all the way around are painted matte black, because I personally think aesthetically when it is glass and it's tinted glass, which they almost always are, it looks very good. So whatever the color vehicle you have, it doesn't really matter. But when it's glass, I thought it looked good. So I said, hey, let's just paint this matte black and see how that looks. I don't think it was overly expensive to get them to do that for me. It was slightly more expensive, but it looks a lot better to me. It doesn't end up looking like a work truck. So it's another option you can do. And again, you don't have to do the windows. You can just do solid glass, or you can do glass that vents and it's got a screen. You don't have to do the locking T-handles. You can really set this thing up however you want. But there's one that you're always going to have. When you go with an HD version, this is the CXHD, and there's one other one you can do in the HD model. I don't remember what it is, but anytime you get the HD, it means that there's an internal aluminum skeleton that is going to go up through the actual fiberglass, and it's going to attach to the crossbars up on top. So we'll kind of see if we can get in here, and let's take a little bit closer look at that. Okay, so hopefully you can kind of see this aluminum skeleton. It goes along the top on both sides. There's a cross member going across the truck on both the front and the back, and then they kind of loop down into this part on both sides. So it actually goes along the entire frame of the truck here, and it's very rigid. I think it's 7075 aluminum. Don't quote me on that one. It's either 7075 or 6061, but it's a very tough aluminum. And they've got these T-slots in them. There's 2 T-slots going along the entire rail, and then there's one on the bottom as well. So a T-slot on each side, and then a T-slot on the bottom, and also on the top. So you can hook all kinds of shit up to this, and it's just gonna, I don't know, provides a lot of functionality if you need to hook a lot of stuff up in here. There's also an option that you can get a toolbox from A.R.E, and the toolbox is cool too. I think it just suspends off of these, and it also, having this interior frame in here will also increase the weight capacity of those toolboxes by like 3 times as well, so 300%. That's pretty cool as well. This is definitely the best part of this topper, and I think over time this is really going to benefit me. I don't like to buy stuff that I have to replace often, and I always want stuff that's really going to last. So for me, I went with the CXHD, even though it wasn't completely necessary. The standard load rating, when it's just attached to the fiberglass, would have been just fine. But like I said, if you use this as a work truck, or if you do the overlanding stuff and you've got a tent that's up there a lot, or anything like that, it's going to be a really good option for you. So another thing on these toppers, just kind of all the A.R.E toppers in general, but they have this carpet. I don't know if you can see, but they have this carpet interior. You can do it with the carpet or without, and without, it's just exposed fiberglass. So I would really recommend that you actually get the carpet inside. And the guys, when they were putting this on, they said you can just power wash it, and it's not a big deal. So we'll see if that's the case. I've sprayed it out a little bit, but I've not just had to like totally deep clean it with a power washer or anything like that. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's got carpet in it. And then in terms of the actual locking mechanisms, I don't know if you can see this or not. Let me reframe the camera just a little bit. So the way that these toppers actually lock down is right here. It's kind of a clamp system. So it clamps to the kind of the rail of your truck, not really the rail, but no, I guess, yeah, the rail. It clamps to the rail of your truck, and then it also clamps down on the top part of your bed as well. And it just clamps the sucker down. So this is just a standard, I think it's a 10mm bolt. No, it looks a little bigger than that. I don't know what size it is, but it's a heavy duty bolt in there, and you just kind of tighten it down. So if you've gone off-roading or just really been driving on shitty roads, it's a good idea to always tighten these, no matter if you just have a regular A.R.E topper or if you have the HD one with a bunch of shit on the top. It's a good idea to actually torque those down after you've been on any sort of rough roads. Okay, so I kind of figured I'd probably get some questions as to, is this waterproof or not? And to me, to this point, it's been very waterproof. I really haven't had any seepage at all. I've had very little, let's put it that way, and I'll show you where in a second. But take this to a good shop. If you're actually gonna go put the money into getting a nice topper, especially one of these CRHDs. What the fuck is it? It's been a long day. I don't remember what it is. CXHD. If you get one of these CXHDs, make sure you put the money into having a reputable shop put this thing on. If it's a shop that's done a bunch of these rigs, then they're going to know where the points are that they get water seeping in, and they're going to be able to reinforce those better for you. Like on this one in particular, we've got this back area that will get some water coming in. So they take, you can kind of see it. There's a little bit of black shit coming out the bottom there, but it's some sort of jelly caulking or whatever that they put in there so that it doesn't leak quite as much. And I haven't had any problems to this point. I've driven in real slushy snow and rain and all that kind of stuff, and I haven't had a problem to this point. Now, on the back side, where this opens, I've had a little bit of problems with water coming in, but it's really just from when you open and close the topper itself. It's really not from anything else. So yeah, that's pretty much it. For the most part, it's waterproof, and that's pretty much all I've got to say about that. Okay, so in closing, I'm just gonna wrap this video up. It's probably not been the best video. It's been a busy day, but in closing, if you're looking for a topper that is gonna be durable, rugged, heavy duty in terms of a fiberglass topper, definitely check out the A.R.E.CXHD toppers. For me, to this point, it's been really good. I'll do an update on it the more that I actually get it out on trails. But to this point, the light trails I put it on, it's been just fine. I haven't had any problems with cracking or anything, just having the tent up there all the time. And I think it's gonna serve me really well. So that's pretty much it. That's all I got for you guys today. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe. And yeah, we'll be putting out a bunch more Tacoma content and stuff like that. That's pretty much it, guys. We will see you in the next one.